All right, and I think you should be seeing my screen with my presentation. Yes. All right, and so this is our 8th in the series of Learn Everywhere Zula or Lex Advanced workshops. And the topic for this one is how you can customize your course homepage in Brightspace. As we get started, if you do tweet, I invite you to join the conversation about education technology. Use the hashtag EdTech, FactDev for faculty development, and tag @ZulaCat. Also, these workshop slides are available on our wiki. You can either scan in this QR code or you can go to the URL catwiki.zula.edu/homepages. And I will repeat this information at the end. All right, and so I thought I'd start out by having us take a look at this course homepage for this elementary French course. And as we're looking at the homepage, on the top row is the menu bar, and right underneath is the nav bar or the navigation bar. And the position and the options for these two are fixed, and so you won't be able to make changes to these. However, the area below, you can. And this is a part of your course homepage. And so right underneath the nav bar, we have the banner image. And here you can select an image that reflects what the course is about. And you can also change your banner image text if you'd like. Underneath your banner image, you have the homepage layout. And here in this example, we have a 3-column layout here with these widgets. And so today, the focus of the workshop is going to be on the homepage. And this is the landing page for your course, where you can display useful information to the students and provide them with resources. The nav bar, as I mentioned, is the navigation bar. So it's an easy way for you to get access to various tools in Brightspace. Your course banner, you use that to personalize the course with an image that's reflective of what the course is. And you can, if you choose to, display messages to your learners. The content area we won't get into today, but this is a space that you can post and organize content within Brightspace. So the course offering information tool is where you would go if you want to actually change the name of your course. So courses, the course names that come over into Brightspace or from the course names that are in Banner. And sometimes those names are abbreviated, or perhaps you would like the name to be slightly different from how it is in Banner, and you can change that name. However, if you do decide you want to change the name, then you should make sure you change the name to something that your learners would recognize. Your banner image is randomly selected when that course is created from a library of images. You can at any point go in and choose an image from that library if you want to change it, or you can upload your own image. That image is actually used in multiple places in Brightspace, and it's automatically resized to fit the location that it's being used in. So the recommended image size is 2400 by 960 pixels. The banner image text by default is going to be the course name. You can, if you'd like to, use a custom value, or you can decide that you don't want any banner image text at all. If you want to use a custom value, you can use replace strings. So in this example that I have on the slide, this first name replace string would be replaced with the learner's first name. And then org unit name would be replaced with the name of the course. So you can use replace strings in your banner image text. The homepage layout is the actual organization of the homepage. So if we take a look at Elizabeth's homepage for her health psychology course, the layout is 2 equal panels. So in other words, we have these 2 panels are equal in size. Widgets is a term that you'll become familiar with when you're working with your home page. And widgets are the building blocks of home pages. So they contain like live feeds of tools and external links. There are system widgets, and these are created by the system administrator. So these are widgets that you would not be able to modify or delete. However, you can choose which system widgets you want to appear on your course homepage. You can change the location of them, and you can also customize the display options. There are custom widgets, and these are widgets that you would put in, and you can build them in the Brightspace editor or from an external application. So you choose what you want to appear in that widget box. These system widgets here are some that you should be or probably are familiar with. Maybe one that you're not would be this work to do widget. And this one was introduced earlier this year with one of our continuous delivery updates. And this widget is specific to your learners. So with this widget, they can get a summary of things that they have to do, as well as items that might be overdue. So this widget is only available to users who are in the system using the student role. And so when you're viewing your course as the instructor, you would not actually see this widget. But when you view your course as a student, then if this widget is present on your course homepage, you should see it when you view as a student. A few other system widgets that might be of interest to you would be activity feed, the content browser, and quick eval. And the activity feed is a way for you to have some sort of engagement in your course. You can create messages there, and then your learners would be able to also post and respond to messages that are there. The other option in the activity feed would be that you could set up assignments there as well. The content browser widget is a widget that would allow quick access to the table of contents in your course. And then quick eval is a widget that would allow you to see what things you have that are waiting for you to evaluate. The quick eval widget is not visible to students. So if you included this quick eval widget on your course homepage, then you would be able to see this quick eval widget, but the students would not. So if we take another look at Elizabeth's course homepage, we see the course name here at the top. She has a banner image that is reflective of what the course is about. The banner text is the course name. And then she has some system widgets here, 4 system widgets that are in the 2 panels. And then at the bottom is a custom widget, which happens to be a Twitter feed. All right, so I want to actually get in and show you how to do some of these things. Do we have any questions before I move into that?
I had one question,
Yes.
Ms. Janice.
Yes.
How
Hi.
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. My question was for the widgets that you just mentioned. Are these when you I know you're about to show it to us, but are they there that you just click on? Like, are they
When
already made and you just select if you want to add it or not?
correct. The system widgets are correct.
Okay.
And then a custom widget is one that you would have to create.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct.
Thank you so much.
And so I am in a sandbox course. Now, if you want to work along, follow along with what I'm doing, just realize if you are working in an active course, any changes you make, the students will see. So if you have a sandbox course, you may want to work in that. If you don't have a sandbox course, you can always request one, but unfortunately, we won't have time to set that up for you to do in this particular training session. But you can request the sandbox course to play around with Brightspace. All right. So the first thing that I want to do is change the course name. So remember I said you can do that with course offering information. So in the course, if you go to course admin, you should see a link for course offering information. So if I click on course offering information, notice here I can change the name of the course just by, and I'm going to call this course Intro Oceanography Spring 2022. Like I said, when you're changing the name of the course, you want to make sure that you change it to something that the students would recognize. Then I can click the Save button. And notice up here at the top, the course name has changed. So if I want to see how that looks on my course homepage, I just click on the link for my course here. And I can see that this name has changed. The name is also appearing as the banner text in this banner. If I want to change this, I can. And then I would do that by rolling my mouse over the banner image. Well, before I change the banner text, let's change the banner image. This course is about oceanography. So while this is a cute pic, not quite fitting of the course. So I'm actually going to change the image first. So if I roll my mouse over the image and click on these three dots, I can choose change image from here. And then I see a library of images. Well, there's a search box. And I can put in a search term to get me closer to an image that I might want to use. So if I find one of these images that I want to use, then I roll my mouse over it and click on use this image. Also up here at the top is a link to upload an image. So if I want to I have an image outside of Brightspace that I want to use, then I click on upload and I'm presented with these options, and then I would just navigate on my computer to find that image. I'm going to click cancel because I'm just going to use one of these images. So I will use this first one. When I click on use this image, then the image is updated. All right. And the banner image text I can change as well. And I would go back here to the same three dots over my image. I click on that and I choose customize banner text. So the default, as I mentioned, is that you see the course name. I can choose custom here and then put in whatever I want that custom value to be. And as I mentioned, you can use replace strings. So what should happen in this example is that the learner's name or the individual's name should appear along with the course name. If you want to know what replace strings you can use here, you can click on this link that says what replace strings can I use? And so org unit name, notice here says this is the name of the org unit. Org unit in Brightspace means course, right? So that's where I'm picking up org unit name from. And not all replace strings, if you're using replace strings in Brightspace, not all replace strings work in all places. So you have to make sure that you're using the correct replace strings for whatever you're trying to do. So if I click on save, the system now tells me, it substitutes my name along with the name of the course. Okay. All right. And so any questions so far? All right, great. All right, so to create or change the course homepage, then I would need to do that in course admin as well. But remember, before I do that, remember I said that the default course homepage has that work to do widget. Right now, I am looking at the course as the instructor. And so as the instructor, I don't see the work to do widget here. All I see is my announcements, updates, and calendar. But if I were to view this course as a student, and I'm going to, well, maybe. I'm going to try to view this course as a student. And so notice here is the work to do widget. So the system recognizes the role and then would put that information, put that widget here for the students. So in order for me to customize this course homepage, I need to be in as an instructor. And I would go to my course admin. And here I have an option for home pages. So if I click on home pages, I see that default home page that's being used, the one that you get by default. So when you want to create a or customize your home page, what you should do is go ahead and make a copy of this course homepage and then edit that copy. So if I click on this arrow, I get the option to copy. And here is the copy. If I click on the link for this course homepage, copy, I can now make changes to it. So I am going to call this my new course homepage. I won't enter a description because it's pretty self-explanatory to me what this is for. And then this homepage is widget based, so I'm going to leave that alone. And notice we were talking about layouts. And the layout that's currently being used is the 2 equal panels. If I want to change the layout and choose a different one, I can click on this change layout button, and then I can choose the layout that I want. The nice thing about this is you get a visual as well as some text telling you what the layout is. So if I want to use the basic layout where there's a large panel here on the left and a smaller one on the right, I could choose that. You see the various options. As I said, the one that we're using right now is the 2 equal panels, and I am going to leave that as my option. I will click close. But I want to point out, it said there are 4 panels and there are 2 equals with a header and a footer. So the header and the footer panel is actually here, but there's nothing in it. So when there's nothing in that panel, the system is not going to display anything. And so that's why we have 2 equal panels here, right? Okay. When you want to put a widget in one of your panels, then you would just click the Add Widgets button in the panel that you're trying to insert that widget into. So I'm going to click this gray Add Widgets button over here in this right-hand panel because that's where I want to put a system widget. And I like the quick eval widget. So of my system widgets, I'm just going to scroll through and find the quick eval. I click the check box and then I click the add button. When I do that, it inserts this quick eval widget down here at the bottom. I can reposition this widget just by clicking and dragging and dropping it into place. So in my course homepage, I'd like to see updates and then quick eval. As the instructor, remember, I'm not going to see work to do, but I will see the calendar. And that's the only change I want to make to that right now. So I will do click on this save and close button. Okay, and so now my home page is created, but I have one more step before I leave here because I'll leave this page because I need to make this home page, my new course home page, I need to make it the active page. So if I go here to this pull down menu and I choose my new course homepage and click apply, notice now over here, the system is indicating this is your active homepage. So if I click on the link for my course name at the top, I now see that I have the quick eval widget here in the list, right in the position where I wanted it. And if I view this course as a student, the student does not see the quick eval widget. That work to do widget is still in there for them. They don't see it. The quick eval widget is for me. All right. Okay, and so let's say I do want to add, I want to create a custom widget, and I want to create a widget with a Twitter feed, right? So what I need to do is get an embed code for that Twitter feed. And so I'm going to do that by going to the URL publish.twitter.com. That's publish.twitter.com. When I do that, all I need to do is just start filling out these fields with the information. So here, what would I like to embed? Well, I want to embed a Twitter feed from Ocean Explorer. Once I enter that, the system wants to know, well, what are my display options? How would I like that Twitter feed displayed? I do want an embedded timeline. So I'm going to click on embedded timeline, and it begins to show me what that Twitter feed would look like. This says that's all we need unless you like to set customization options. And I do want to set customization options because I want to control the height of that widget. So I want to make it 600 pixels, and I want to click the blue update button. All right, so I've got everything I need. Once I click this blue copy code, that embed code is now copied. And that's what I need to bring back to Brightspace. So I'm going to go back to my course. And from here, I need to go to course admin, and then widgets. So in my custom widgets, notice it says you haven't created any custom widgets yet. So I want to click on this blue create widget button. And I need to give this widget a name. And let me just copy this name. All right, so it's going to be the NOAA Ocean Exploration Twitter feed. I don't need to put a description because the name is pretty self-explanatory. I am going to click this save button. And then I need to go back to content All right. And in content here, this should look familiar because this is the Brightspace editor. And so from here, I can insert stuff, right? I need to get this code again. I can insert stuff. So when you roll your mouse over an icon or a button, you get a tooltip. And so notice this one says, I'm going to insert stuff. So if I click on insert stuff, one of the options in here is that I can enter an embed code. I click on enter embed code, and then I paste in that embed code that I got when I went to the Twitter, and I click next, and then I get a link like this, and this is the actual Twitter embed code. I'm going to click on insert, and then I see that same link here. Now there's a preview widget button, so I can click on preview widget. I want to see, and here is the Twitter feed. This is what it's going to look like. And so I would click save here. But before we do, I want to point out that you can customize the widget style. So if I click on this gray customize widget style button, I have some options here where I can indicate whether I want to display a title, the widget container style. Maybe I want to prohibit them minimizing this widget. And I can also, if I don't want to use the default name, I can set a custom name. I'm okay with all of the default settings, so I'll just click cancel. And then I will click save and close to save my custom widget. And now I have one custom widget here in this list. Here, I can go back to my home pages. I can move between my home pages and my widgets by using these tabs. So if I click on home pages here, I get back to my homepage list, and here is the homepage that I just created. So I can click on the link to get in and edit the homepage. And I want to add that widget, that custom widget here at the end in this panel. So I'm going to click this gray add widget button. I can click on this link up here just to see my custom widgets. Check the box and then click the add button. And now that widget is in the list. And I can click the blue save and close. All right. And so now if I click on the link for my course name here at the top, take me back to my course homepage. I now see that that feed has been added to my course homepage. If I had not gone in and customized this Twitter feed and indicated that I wanted it to be 600 pixels high, then this frame for that Twitter feed could be a lot longer than I want or need. Users can scroll in that Twitter feed just by using this. Now, I do want to point out what happens when a user is on a smaller screen is that the layouts, the panels and the layouts get stacked upon each other. So if I'm going to unmaximize this and then reduce the size of my browser window, and notice what's going to happen. So now my announcements widget, which was in my left-hand panel, is here. And then it's followed by the widgets in the right-hand panel. If I had chosen that I wanted to use a 3-panel layout, then the widgets that are in the third panel would follow the widgets that are in the second panel. So that's how the system is responding to smaller devices in terms of placement of these widgets. Okay. I wanted to, rather than create a course homepage with some widgets, I wanted to show you. This is the activity feed widget. And so with this widget, as I mentioned, you can create messages, but you can also have assignments in here. So if you use the activity feed widget, you would just click the blue plus sign, and then you could create a message. You can post it now or post it later. And so the idea is that this is ongoing. It's messages. You can also create an assignment in here. And then it was just, the information that you have in your activity feed would just grow, right? The content browser widget is one that you can also use. And so this course here, sample course, has some information. It's designed, the content area, such that there's some information, including objectives that have been placed in this description. And then the various tasks that the students have to do are followed as topics in that area. But this description has some information that would be important to the students. What are the objectives for this particular week? The content browser widget is on this course homepage, and this is what the content browser widget looks like. And basically, it will show you what is in your table of contents. And so that week 1 happens to be under unit 1, and here's the week 1 information. Notice here that information that's in the description is not shown anywhere in this content browser widget. So if you were wanting to use this content browser widget, just be aware that any module descriptions will not be shown to the students. And so if there's some important information that they would need, you would want to make sure that you place that somewhere else other than the only place that it is should not be in that description, because they will not be seeing it. All right.
Janice, got a question. Chats. A mom asked if this is kind of like a snapshot of the contents page.
It's like an outline of the content page so that you can get there quickly.
It's
so
live, right? So any changes you make will.
Correct. It is alive. Yes. Correct. Yes. Great question. Thank you. All right. And so that is my check-in. Was there any other questions?
I had one more question.
Yes.
When you adjusted the pixels on the Twitter feed that you added, I forgot where you went exactly.
Okay, I will go back there. Let's see.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I went rather fast. So when you went to publish.twitter.com, you're just filling out the information. Once I said that I wanted to display an embedded timeline, it says that's all you need. And it says, unless I'd like to set customization options. So when I click on this link for set customization options, then it just presents some information here. The only one that of these options that I wanted to change was the height, because I've seen if you don't include how high that frame is, it may get unwieldy and it's very long, and maybe that's not what you intended.
They have to keep scrolling. Okay.
Right. Exactly. All right. Any other questions?
No, thank you so much. That was so helpful.
Okay, no problem. All right. I kind of use this infographic here, I like to use it because it points out that by the end of 2014, the number of mobile devices exceeded the number of people who are on Earth. And when students come to campus, they do want to be able to use their mobile devices. They've indicated that. They're coming with multiple devices, but they actually prefer to use a mobile device. And this became more important to them as we went into the pandemic and they had more online and remote classes. So when you are setting up your courses, even though Brightspace has a responsive design and will adjust, there's still things that you need to be aware of to make it easier for those students who might be accessing the course on a mobile device. So when you are setting up your course homepage and you're including your widgets, just keep in mind that effective widgets serve two purposes: navigation and communication. So you do want to have quick access to frequently used course features and then up-to-date information and just-in-time resources. I have some design tips. Number one is about your banner image. The recommended banner image is 2400 by 600 pixels with no text in the image. Now that doesn't mean that you cannot use one that is not the recommended size, but that's what is recommended. So this, for example, would be a good choice for a banner image, whereas this one would be a poor choice for a banner image. And remember, this is because that banner image is being used in multiple places in Brightspace. Tip number 2, you want to strive for minimal scrolling. So this is going to make it easier for the students who might be trying to use the course on a mobile device so that they can find things more easily. Tip number 3, put your most important information where your learners are going to scan for it first. They typically start at the top left and work their way to the right and down. The least looked at part of a page is going to be the bottom right. Design tip number 4, activity feed. If you're using that activity feed widget, then use that basic homepage layout and add that activity feed to the large panel. Don't put any other widgets in that panel. Any widgets that you put under there can become lost as your feed grows. Tip number 5, drip feeding. I've blogged about this idea of drip feeding, where it's scheduling content delivery. And this is more in terms of announcements. I'm thinking that you use availability dates where appropriate. So if an announcement is no longer relevant, or at the point that it's no longer relevant, then go ahead and indicate that end date so that the system is not showing the student that announcement past its usefulness. A student may not realize that they can dismiss announcements, and so they may have a bunch of announcements to scroll through. There's an added benefit if you add end dates to your announcements, because if you are copying courses and you have an end date on your announcements as you copy the course into the destination course, then you would have an opportunity to go back through those announcements and then adjust your dates and have them appear when you are ready for them. Design tip number 6, when you're setting up your custom widgets, remember you're using the Brightspace editor. There's a quick link. And so quick links allow you to get quick access to content or materials in the course. And so rather than just saying, you're going to need to go here to this particular area, include a quick link so they can just click on that link and take them directly to that information. Some potential pitfalls. Potential pitfall number 1, we've already talked about. If you're going to use that content browser widget, just remember that if you put any information in the module description, The students may miss that information if that is the only place that you're including that information. So if they're using that content browser to navigate around in your course, they may miss some important information if the only place it appears is in that module description. Potential pitfall number 2, use the announcements widget or the activity feed widget. Don't use both of them. Potential pitfall number 3, if you're using that activity feed widget, any messages you have there will not be copied into another course. So if that is important that messages get copied, then you'd want to use the announcement widget instead. And if you use the assignment option in the activity feed widget, those assignments can actually be copied over into the destination course, but you would have to go back and relink the announcements. The assignments. Potential pitfall number 4, too many widgets. So don't clutter your home page with too many widgets. Remember, we're looking for ease of navigation and communication. The students shouldn't have to scroll through a lot. All right, and at this point, my question for you is, do you see any value in customizing your homepage? All right, I see a thumbs up. Okay, so hopefully, thank you. Hopefully you all find some value in doing some sort of customization to your homepage, even if it's no more than making sure that your banner image is reflective of what the course is. All right, and I do want to remind you that we do have the Cat Food blog. So if you're not subscribed, then I suggest that you subscribe. This is where we are blogging in CAT. We blog about a number of different things, but this is where I blog Brightspace tips, timely Brightspace tips. And then I want to remind you also of our Learn Everywhere Zula course, where you were looking at the Quality Matters standards and how you might be able to apply those in your courses. In particular, this course overview and introduction module. How can you set up your course homepage so that you can do an overview of your course for your students? You'll find useful information also in the accessibility and usability module, because you want to set up your course so that it is more usable for the students and definitely accessible. And as I said, you can find a copy of the workshop slides. When this recording is ready, it will be up there as well. And then there are links to the various resources that I talked about here. Anything that I talked about, I included a link for it. Any questions? Okay. You will be receiving a workshop evaluation survey. I think it's coming by email. And because you attended this session today, you have earned the Home Pages and Widgets badge. So you will be able to see this badge inside of the Learn Everywhere Zula course. And I want to remind you that this badge is a part of our Lex Advanced certification. And so once you get 4 badges, you do get the certification. And just because I can, I'm going to give you some confetti. All right. Are there any questions? If you're not enrolled in the Learn Everywhere Zula course, you can request enrollment for that. You'll find the information for that on that CAT Wiki page. The home pages on the CAT Wiki as well.